Hello everyone, welcome to Rainbow Infinity. Today I'll be reading Mellow Mare's Twilight's Quest. If you like the reading, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Please enjoy. The best place to read. It was autumn in Ponyville, a season so bright. The leaves in the trees were an orange delight. They fluttered and fell like the stars from above, the whole world aglow in a blanket of love. The air was crisp, with a sweet, cooling breeze that rustled and whispered through all of the trees, and Twilight Sparkle, with a book in her hoof, felt a sense of adventure from her library roof. The book she held tightly, a treasure so dear, was The Celestial Guide to a Million-Year Sphere, not a story of joy, nor a tale of great might, but a dense, boring book filled with starlight. She smiled to herself as she took to the sky. Today's the day to sit down and try to read this whole book without pause, without rush, to dive into the cosmos where the stars softly hush. She soared through the air, her heart light and bright, looking for a spot just perfect, just right. A quiet place, calm, with no one around, just me and my book, not a single sound. She flew to a hilltop, with grass soft and green, where the golden leaves made a dazzling scene. She settled down gently, her wings tucked in tight, and opened her book with a sigh of delight. But just as she started the very first page, a blur flew by, as fast as a mage. Rainbow Dash zoomed in, making loops in the sky. "Hey, Twilight, want a race? I'll bet you can't fly." Twilight groaned, though she smiled just the same. "Rainbow, I'm reading. It's not quite a game." "Reading? Oh, please. You're wasting the day. Let's zoom through the clouds. I'll show you the way." "I'd love to, I swear," Twilight chuckled, quite kind. "But right now it's the stars that are filling my mind." Rainbow Dash huffed, with a flick of her mane. "All right, but later. Don't forget our next race campaign." With a laugh, Rainbow zipped off, leaving Twilight behind, to her books, her stars, her scholarly grind. But now the peace was a little bit shattered. She needed a new place where quiet still mattered. She found a small grove, with trees tall and bright, the colors of autumn a painter's delight. She sat on a stump, her book close once more, and smiled to herself. This spot's not a bore. She opened the cover, began to dive in, when suddenly something made her ears pin. A voice, loud and cheery, came from the ground. "Twilight, look what I found!" It was Pinkie Pie, bouncing as high as a cloud, with a tray full of treats and a smile so proud. "Cupcakes, cookies, and pie, oh my! You can't read all day without some sweet by your side." Twilight chuckled, her heart filled with glee. "Thanks, Pinkie, but I'm just trying to be alone for a while with this book that I've got. I need to focus on stars, not your frosting pot." Pinkie Pie giggled and twirled with a wink. "Oh, okay, Twilight, but don't forget to drink. I've got cocoa in the shop, hot and sweet. Come by later, your tummy I'll treat." And with that, Pinkie hopped off, happy and light, leaving Twilight alone in the warm autumn light. But once again, the peace wasn't enough. She packed up her things, feeling a little bit stuffed. She flew to a meadow, so wide and serene, the leaves falling gently, like something from a dream. "This is it," she whispered, her heart full of cheer. But a sound from behind made her pause, made her peer. "Howdy, Twilight," came a voice, strong and proud. It was Applejack, standing there, calling out loud. "I've got apples to buck and cider to brew. How about a break? I've got a mug just for you." Twilight sighed softly, though she loved her dear friend. She just wanted some time, her stars to comprehend. "Applejack, thank you. I'll help you for sure. But I've really got to read, to learn and explore." Applejack nodded, her hat tipped with grace. "Well, all right, Sugar Cube. I'll leave you your space. But come by the farm when you've had your fill. We got pies and cider, and warmth from the chill." Twilight smiled, feeling the warmth in her heart. But once again she had to depart. She needed to find a new place, all alone, where maybe, just maybe, she could finally zone. She landed by flowers, with petals so bright, and sighed in relief. This time it felt right. She opened her book, her hoof turning the page, but another soft voice reached her ear, stage by stage. Twilight, I'm sorry to bother, but could you help me find a poor bunny's mother?" It was Fluttershy, gentle and kind, her eyes full of worry, her heart on her mind. Twilight's heart melted. How could she refuse? Fluttershy needed her help. There was no time to lose. She packed up her book and flew off by her side, helping to search for the bunny that cried. Once the bunny was found, safe in its bed, Twilight felt tired, her wings feeling lead. But she couldn't stop now. She needed a spot, a place to read. But why was it so fraught? She found a sweet corner, with leaves all aglow, where the sun filtered down in a golden-lit show. "This is it," she whispered, her voice full of hope. But then came Rarity, with ribbons and rope. "Darling Twilight, you simply must try this scarf that I've made. It's one of a kind." Twilight smiled, but her heart felt a tug. She loved Rarity dearly, but she needed a rug. A rug that was quiet, with no one around, where finally, peace could be found. "Thank you, Rarity, but I've really got to read. I've got to learn about stars and their speed." Rarity nodded, her eyes full of grace. "I'll leave you, darling, to your quiet place." And with a flourish of fabric she left in a spin, leaving Twilight alone, once again with a grin. But before she could settle, Spike and Starlight came near, with questions and jokes and magical cheer. "Twilight, we need you," they called in delight. "Can you help us with spells? Just a few before night?" Twilight sighed. Her quest felt quite doomed. The day had passed by, and the moon now loomed. Her book remained closed, not a page had been read, and now she felt tired, ready for bed. Her friends saw her face, the sadness in her eyes, and huddled together to plan a surprise. As Twilight lay down, drifting to sleep, her dreams took her far through the night so deep. She found herself standing on the moon, all alone, with stars all around and a place of her own. Princess Luna appeared with a soft, gentle glow. "Your friends sent me here, for they love you so. You wanted to read with no pony in sight, so here you are, Twilight, in the stillness of night." Twilight gasped in awe, the stars so near. She opened her book, ready to cheer. But as she read, something felt wrong. The silence too quiet, the night too long. She missed her friends, their laughter, their cheer, and realized at once what she held dear. Reading alone wasn't quite right. It was her friends who made her world bright. She closed the book, her heart full of grace, and smiled as she woke with joy on her face. The next morning they gathered, her friends full of cheer, for tea and for stories, all warm and sincere. Twilight read to them softly, her heart now complete, for the best place to read was with friends. What a treat! Thank you for listening in. I hope you enjoyed the reading. Until next time, stay tuned.